a youth, we don't have like many programs and like sports activities or much to do. So most of the time on our free time, we are most likely to get caught up in negative attention or negative groups or just negative activities. So that will cause us to either incarceration, drugs, or death.
After school one day, I was walking home, and if I wasn't walking home, I could have been in a program instead of walking home. But instead, I was walking home, and I wanted to have fun, and I was with my friends, and then it became oh, okay, I want to look like I'm kind of one of the baddest people, or I want to fit in. Actually, I want to fit in, and then I, end up doing something that I regret now.
Like if we have more programs and more sports and more after-school programs for us, it will probably be less that we will like be able to go to jail or go do drugs. Like if we have after-school programs, we'll be more occupied instead of hanging out with the wrong crowd, doing the wrong thing.
I believe that the after-school programs are very important in our communities. When we lose our after-school programs, I believe that our city would get worse because a lot of our kids wouldn't have anywhere to go. They would be forced to experience new things with new crowds and get into the wrong situations, that a lot of unnecessary stuff that they really don't need to be into. But with the after-school programs, we have more chances to get out of our community. We have chances to go to colleges and look at colleges that we could potentially go to when we graduate from high school. My name is A.C. Attic McKinney. I am a student at Nellie A. Thornton High School, and I am a captain of the SASF STEP team.
To me, I think sports and arts is important because it would help me break out of my shell with the different activities that they had and the different opportunities that they had, like going to different colleges and going to community service programs.
Sports and arts, the after-school programs, it helps you mentally and it helps you socially. It helps you as a student because my mom used to tell me when I was younger, your mind is like a sponge and it absorbs. So when you absorb the positive outlet, there's nothing that you can't do once you absorb something so positive as a sports and arts program.
The after-school program is important to me because I learned that there are many black colleges that you can go to, historically black colleges and universities, and probably I'll go to one.
Sports and arts has given me more of an open mind. It's definitely built my confidence and turned me into a more calm person. I'm more calm to more insults and things people say.
After-school programming is very crucial within the Mount Vernon community because as of current, there is a very high crime rate where there's a lot of teens or students when they are not engaged in activity, they fall into negative behavior where they might be bullied, where they just might go into certain behaviors such as violence.
After-school programs in Mount Vernon would cause a lot of steam because if there's no programs, because most kids don't even know about most of the programs going on. So if there's no program in the school, days are here for 8 hours, so bunched up, so it makes us kind of staticky. So then we leave school, there's a lot of fights, a lot of drama, everybody wants drama, social media, it causes a lot of turmoil.
Because I know a lot of kids wouldn't be in the after-school program, so they wouldn't really have anything else to do but go to the park with all the other hoodlums are at and getting into fights or whatever, getting themselves into situations that they really don't need to be in.
So it'd be a lot of more of us in jail. They'd have to build more prisons. There'd be more of us in juvie. I hear that they're gonna stop doing juvie and let us go straight to prison now. So it would just be a lot of negativity for the youth.
My name is Shirley Mondesir, and I'm the program director here at Thornton High School, located in Mount Vernon, New York. So after-school program provides a safe haven for these students and where they actually get to spend their time, at least 3 hours of the day, where they're productive after school, where they're engaging in activities of their interest and also exploring what they might have innately, and they're able to bring it out amongst their peers.
Sports and arts is important to me because it changes people in a positive way. like mentally for school so you can focus, and socially so you can get to know new people. That's definitely built my confidence and turned me into a more calm person. I'm more calm to more like insults and things people say. Sports and arts has changed me into a person I'm starting to really like.
You know, unfortunately, I began seeing problems with our youth from our middle schools, and that was, wow, we're going back probably around 2000, where I was really in charge of the division that handled youth, is when I don't think that's when the issue started, but that's certainly when I began to take serious notice of it. My name is Terrence Raynor. I am the police commissioner for the City of Mount Vernon Police Department. After school, the schools let out at relatively the same time, and it had gotten so that the young people leaving school would create havoc along Gramerton Avenue straight up to 4th Avenue. And it was just so unfortunate to see our young people, you know, walking up the street, yelling and screaming and causing problems for a lot of the store proprietors who would, I mean, you had store owners, shopkeepers, who would come outside their stores and just stand there to not let young people come in to some of the businesses, and to make sure that the kids aren't damaging their structures, their windows and things of that nature, which really didn't make a lot of sense, and I couldn't understand why we're having issues like that. You know, you would think you get out of school and it's time to move on to some kind of after school activity, whether it be sports, whether it be the arts.
Certainly, as a parent, I know how important they are for the working parent who does not get home immediately at the 3 o'clock stroke of the bell when students are let out of school. So any kind of after-school intramural games and after-school classes are very important to parents because it gives them at least a little leeway between the time school lets out and the time that they arrive home. Or if their children have to be at home alone, that the time that they spend alone is very short.
We really had a large group of kids who would just find themselves getting into different trouble along that corridor. And it certainly concerned the police department to the point where we had what was similar to an all-out every day, 5 days a week. When school let out, police officers who were not otherwise engaged would have to go along Gramerton Avenue and 4th Avenue to kind of sheep herd, if you will, our kids. And it really didn't make a lot of sense. And that's why, when we start talking about programs and things for youth to do, it's absolutely imperative that we get the message out that there are programs, there are things to do for our youth in the city of Mount Vernon.
If we had more programs and opportunities, we would be able to expand ourselves instead of doing the same things and negative things that we were doing back when we were in the community. And if we had like sports, if we had a little recreation gym center to go to, just something to do instead of just having nothing to do on our free time. Because when you have nothing to do on your free time, it's most likely you're gonna do something you're not supposed to be doing.
If there's more programs, like as in football, if you didn't have to pay for football, if there's basketball, like camps and stuff like that you could go to like after school, I think it'll be better for the youth, because we wouldn't be in the predicament we're in now as in the youth shelter.
My name is Christian Philemon, and I am the Executive Director of the Youth Shelter Program of Westchester. For the past 38 years, we have provided Westchester County's only alternative to incarceration for youth offenders who are charged with offenses in the adult criminal justice system. So the mission of the youth shelter is to educate and motivate our young residents by providing them with specialized programs geared towards returning them to their communities as respective contributing members of society. So in order to be considered for admission to our program, the criteria is pretty simple. You must be between the ages of 16 to 21, and you must have been arrested in Westchester County. Unfortunately, New York and North Carolina are still currently the only two states that routinely incarcerate 16-year-olds with adults. They are charged as adults in the criminal justice system, because the age of criminal responsibility is 15. So anyone above the age of 15 who commits an offense is routinely tried in the adult system. I think the lack of structured activities for young people after school time is a major contributor to the number of students you see that end up in juvenile or adult criminal facilities.
Sports and Arts and School Foundation is an organization that actually we have worked with, and we have a personal speakers bureau where they've invited us to come and talk about our program with their youth. Because as their program is an intervention, our program is a second chance program. So I think it's a great way to really introduce both populations to each other. For one reason, it gives these young men an opportunity to pay it forward, to talk about some of the challenges that they were experiencing when they were in school, and maybe if they have the resources like a program such as SASF to really be there for them to intervene, so that maybe they would not have made the choices that they made to get them here.
The qualities is kept. What you learn in the street, peer pressure is often more powerful than parental pressure, especially at certain ages. So we need every avenue that we can, especially with sports and arts and other avenues such as that. My name is Ernest D. Davis. I'm the mayor of this great city of Mount Vernon, New York. I am completing the 16th year of my mayoralty. We need everything we can to counterbalance what's shown on television, Facebook, all sorts of drugs, guns in the community, a lack of healthy respect for education, inability to conveniently speak with each other with reverence and respect.
When I got arrested, it was like, what I got arrested for, it was, I wasn't doing nothing. Like, there was, like, after school, it wasn't no programs or nothing that I could go to spend my time at. I would just be walking, like, in the streets, just doing nothing, like.
Sports and arts is very important to me because it keeps our young children out the streets. In this day and age, it's harsh out there. The world is harsh. They're killing people, and it's just unfair. So keeping our children out the streets and just keeping them focused on their school, after-school activities, and just keeping them focused. I think that's why it's very important. And they have some place to go after school. Like I said, there's a lot of violence, a lot of kids smoking, drinking. They're doing things that they should not be doing. So I think this is why they should fight for this program.
Oh yeah, academically, the program definitely helped me. There were a lot of things I was having problems with, and at the time I wasn't really all there. Like, I wasn't really putting a lot of effort into school because I'm just sitting there thinking about all my problems at home. But the program definitely helped me a lot, and it's really been like the best place for me to go. I can't tell you how many countless tests that the program's helped me pass because of the counselors there.
An example perhaps of why these programs are important for young people. I remember with my daughters were growing up, they're 17 months apart, and they didn't have a lot of after-school programs. I know that in my era of school, we had intramural games. We played other schools, and so after school, we had the opportunity to choose a sport or play sports, and then we had competitions between the different schools, which was very, very important. My name is Ruth Hassel Thompson. I've been the New York State Senator for the 36th Senatorial District, which encompasses the city of Mount Vernon and the Northeast Bronx for the last 15 and a half years. Today, with the onset of computers and things of that nature, not every household has access to computers, so that the learning curve, the educational opportunity comes through different devices today that may not necessarily be in the household, nor that they have the parents have the ability to perhaps to give the supervision, particularly when it's around math. I've heard too many parents, or many parents say, that they're not able to help their children with math. The new math is just over their heads, and it's really very, very difficult. And so they need to be in an environment, continued environment, where those opportunities present themselves.
You know, unfortunately, these programs offered here are offered to these young men at a premium. In order to get these programs, they have to sacrifice their freedom. You know, it's unquestionable that had these young people had participated in structured programs, structured activities, such as those available through the Sports and Arts Foundation, we may be seeing a lot fewer numbers. These programs have proven to occupy in a positive way the downtime that all young people have during the time between school and sleep.
Well, let me just congratulate Sports and Arts for its involvement in something that is so necessary for our young folks and for the city and for the country, actually. I use a term that our future is behind us, which means that the people who are coming behind represents the future. I still feel that if we intercept young minds early, there's studies to show that by the third grade, they can tell who's going to go to prison and who is going to become our leaders. They can tell early, because if you don't invest in improving your own life through education, through respect, and all the other attributes that we talk so much about, if we don't inculcate this into our lives, our life becomes exponentially more difficult, and the terrain becomes steeper in which to negotiate.
We are very fortunate to have the Sports and Arts program and the foundation in our school district. It needs to be expanded so that every child can have the opportunity, if they so choose, to be able to participate. It's an awesome program, and it takes a lot of patience on the part of the people who are there.
Having programs like SASF shouldn't be something that we look to achieve. It should be something that's mandatory. That's what our kids need, because it certainly incorporates that whole thought about raising a child in a village. So SASF is that village. Children will go to school for a set number of hours. They will be educated. Yes, they will learn, but there's still plenty of energy. Having come from that small age or young age as a young adolescent, you still have plenty of energy. And what better way to burn off that energy than to incorporate yourself into a program like SASF? I think that what's important is that the word is spread more, so that we can encourage our adults, our parents, to have their kids incorporated in these programs. That's what we have to get back to. It should be mandated, not something that's just available or just a resource. It should be mandated that programs like this we steer our kids to.
And when I got the acceptance letter, me, my mom, and everyone else who was there, they just started jumping with joy. My mom was crying. She was like, finally. So it was a pretty interesting journey to get there, and it was worth it. And I can't wait to start college next year.
10 years, I see myself probably graduating college and doing something useful, using the education I got from school to actually get a job to provide myself and possibly others, continuing basketball and see where I can get myself there, possibly professional, or take myself in law and become a lawyer.
DTB step.